Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are having a fantastic day. I'm very sorry that the CWS is late this week. Wednesday, I was sorting out some edits, and then the software I was using decided to turn around and go on me, so I had to uninstall it, reinstall it, get those edits re-sorted out and redone. So yeah, that's been fun. So I am very sorry about that. But today we're going to be watching Unforgiven 2003. I have not seen this pay-per-view in a very, very long time. I know Goldberg is taking on Triple H for the world title in a career versus title match, but that's all I really remember from this show. So let's not waste any more time, get to our opening package and get to our first matchup. So we just had our first matchup, which is the Dudley Boys taking on La Resistance for the World Tag Team titles in a 2-on-3 handicap tables match. So on Sunday Night Heat, it was supposed to be a six-man tag, but Spike Dudley gets injured at the hands of La Resistance by being put through a table by accident. Spike goes through one of the tables but hits his head on the second table. It was a legit accident. It wasn't meant to be a proper injury, unfortunately. I think he suffered a concussion, if I recall. I could be wrong on that one. I will double check as well. So on Sunday Night Heat, Eric Bischoff made it a handicap match, but Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was the co-general manager at this time, made it for the World Tag Team title, so that's how we get this matchup. It is a very entertaining matchup. It is fun. Devon goes through the table first, then it was Savon Grenier, then it was Savon Grenier, Rene Dupree was last, and then there was somebody else who went through the table second, obviously. But in the end of it, Rene Dupree gets 3D'd through the table, and the Dudley Boys win the match, and are now the 17-time tag team champions of the world on Monday Night Raw. So, with that being said, we will get to our next matchup. It is Test versus Scott Steiner. Let's get to it. So it was Rob Conway, Savon Grenier, and Rene Dupree in the previous match, and Spike did suffer a concussion from the table spot. It was only out for a little bit just to make sure he was okay. So next up we have Test and Scott Steiner, as I said. This match was for not only the services of Stacy Keibler, but if Scott Steiner lost, he would be the servant to Test. This match is okay, it's not bad. It's very entertaining. It's a okay matchup. It's not good. It's not bad. It's okay. Stacy tries to hit Test with a steel chair, but hits Steiner instead. Then Test hits a running boot for the pin, and Steiner becomes Test's property. This is an okay matchup. It's not too bad. It's just one of these. It's one of these matches. It's okay. It's not good. It's not bad. It's okay. Story going into it is decent as well. So we will get to our next matchup, which is Randy Orton versus Shawn Michaels. This one should be good. So we just had Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton. This is fun. Like, Orton counters a Sweet Chin Music into an RKO. That was really nice. This was fun. Ric Flair is obvious with Randy Orton because he is a part of Evolution. So he gets involved. Flair gets involved after Michaels executes a Sweet Chin Music, puts Randy's foot on the rope. Flair passes Orton a pair of brass knuckles. Michaels executes Sweet Chin Music. He attempts a bat suplex, but Orton hits him with the brass knuckles and pins Michaels for the match. Normally, I would be happier if it wasn't really set up in the way, but again, this is Evolution, and it's Ric Flair, it's Randy Orton, so I'm kind of okay with the brass knuckles. Seeing that it was basically just a quick way to get around it, so yeah, I'm kind of liking it. I think it was a really good one. So next up, it is a Divas tag team matchup. Trish Stratus and Lita taking on Molly Holly and Gail Kim. Let's get to this one. So we just had Gail Kim and Molly Holly taking on Trish Stratus and Lita. This one was, it was okay. It was good. Trish and Lita are, Trish Stratus and Lita. You know, they fought before and all that jazz. We also have Gail Kim's debut when she debuted. I think it was the June 30th, and she won the. And Gail Kim debuted on the June 30th episode of Raw and won the Women's Championship straight the fuck away. Nice. But then on the July 28th edition of Raw, she lost the title to Molly Holly. So just to see where you are in the timeline. This was fun. It was entertaining. You know, not really much of action. It was just more of a brawling segment. Lita and Gail Kim end up in the ring after the whole thing. Lita's team, you know, Lita and Trish had the advantage throughout the whole match overall, but Trish threw Kim out of the ring. Lita performed a moonsault on Molly Holly and gets the win for Trish and Lita. So, very entertaining. Next up, it is, my God, I forgot about this match. It's a last man standing match between Kane and Shane McMahon. Fuck, I forgot about this match. Let's watch it. So we just had the match between Shane and Kane in the last man standing match. This was not as brutal, but I forget that about the ending of the match. So Shane comes out, attacks Kane with a steel chair. You know, Kane, you know, referee calls for the bell. Obviously, this is a last man standing match. Steel steps are involved. The old coast to coast using the bottom part of the steel steps. Very cool, actually. Then Shane they brawl to the top of the stage where the boom camera is used as a weapon, which I thought was a really cool spot, not gonna lie. But then Shane climbs to the top of the Titantron, which is about 25 feet, I think, something like that, and just jumps down. Kane moves out the way. Shane just fucking splats, kills himself to a point, and Kane wins the last man standing match when Shane doesn't answer the count of 10. This was brutal. This one was a brutal fucking matchup. It was entertaining, but fucking hell, it looked like it hurt. So, next up, it is the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. Christian versus RVD versus Chris Jericho. Let's get to this one. So, we just had Triple H, fuck's sake, we've got Triple H talking about the world title match coming up next, coming up in the main event. Jericho, Christian and RVD in a triple threat match. This was fun. Jericho and Christian team up to take out on RVD. Van Dam reverses Jericho and Christian's offense, performs a double dropkick. This was fun. Van Dam also hits a double DDT on both men. Somehow during the match, Christian gets busted open in the mouth. I don't know when it happens from the looks of it. But in the end, RVD goes for a 5-star frog splash on Christian when the ref is distracted. Christian retrieves the bell, grabs it, RVD falls onto it. Christian then pins RVD with a roll-up to retain the belt. This was a fun little matchup, entertaining. I feel like Christian should have won with the kill switch, or the unpretty. I can't remember what he called it in WWE. I think it was the kill switch. But yeah, this was a fun little matchup. It was very entertaining. Next up, oh, bollocks, I forgot about this one. Oh. Al Snow and Jonathan Coachman versus Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler for the commentator's position on Raw. I forgot this was on this card. Fuck's sake. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this one, chat. But let's get this one over and done with, shall we? So we just had Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross versus Al Snow and Jonathan Coachman for the commentator's position on Raw. If this was a singles match between Jerry Lawler and Al Snow, I would have liked it a little bit more because at least it's two wrestlers involved in a match. But the fact that Jonathan Coachman and Jim Ross is in the match as well really doesn't fill me with much hope, unfortunately. I like Jim Ross. I think Coachman is good, but this is bad. I mean, Jericho comes out to interfere in the match, costs Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross the position. Al Snow and Coachman get the victory. This was bad, and the only reason this was bad is because Coachman and Jim Ross were involved. The thing is, if this was just Al Snow versus Jerry Lawler, this would have been a bit more fun, I thought. This would have been a lot better of a matchup, in my personal opinion. So moving forward, I believe Jonathan Coachman and Al Snow would last only about a month or something like that um, in the role of managerial in the managerial positioning. Um, Commentator, fuck's sake, not managerial, fuck me. In the commentator's role before basically turning around and being like, yeah, these fuckers suck, let's just get, let's get these guys back. So, with that being said, let's get to our main event of the evening. It is Triple H versus Goldberg, title versus career. Let's get to it. So, just a little bit of an update for you guys. Jonathan Coachman and Al Snow would commentate next night's Raw, so the Raw following this show. And it didn't go down well with the fans, and it didn't go down well with management, so much so that the following week, there was a country whipping match between JR and Jonathan Coachman, where JR won and got JR and Jerry Lawler's jobs back on commentary for Raw. So it only lasted about a week. I thought it lasted a month until Survivor Series, but it only lasted a week. And then they brought back JR and Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, due to the negative views from management and the fans that the commentators, the Al Snow Coachman commentary team had. They were commentators for Sunday Night Heat, and they thought that they could bring them over to Raw, but unfortunately, it just wasn't that good. It wasn't very entertaining, let's say. So, main event time. It's Goldberg Triple H. I will see you guys in just a moment. Let's get to this match. So, Goldberg Triple H. This was a fun world title match. I'm not gonna lie, very entertaining, very put together between both men. So the stipulation is, if Triple H got counted out, disqualified, submitted, or pinned, he would lose the belt. However, if Goldberg lost, he would have to retire from the match. In the end, Goldberg attempted a spear. Triple H countered it into a facebreaker knee smash. Triple H tried it again. Goldberg countered, kicked Triple H in the stomach, performed a clothesline. Then, obviously, it was the good old spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3, our new World Heavyweight Champion, Goldberg. This would go on to have a effect at, I think it was Survivor Series, if I recall. But following Unforgiven, Triple H offered a $100,000 bounty to anyone who could take out Goldberg. It would be Batista who would initially get the bounty, but then Goldberg would come back, and obviously, Stone Cold turned around due to the injury. Eric Bischoff tried to give Triple H the World Heavyweight title. Austin comes out and says, Survivor Series, World Heavyweight rematch, it's going to be between Goldberg and Triple H. Goldberg and Batista were scheduled to face each other in an episode of Raw on November the 10th, if I recall. It resulted in a disqualification. But then, at Survivor Series, Goldberg retained the belt after he hit Triple H with a spear jackhammer combo for the win. Goldberg would drop the belt to Triple H at Armageddon in December. I believe that was a triple threat match between Goldberg, Triple H, and Kane, if I recall. But yeah, this was a fun, what did I think of the show overall? It was a fun show. It was entertaining. It was a good show. Worst match of the night. It had to be the semi-main event. It had to be Jonathan Coachman and Al Snow versus Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler. Like I said, if it was Al Snow versus Jerry Lawler and Jericho comes out to cost the match, then that'd be cool. But seeing that it was a tag team match and two people weren't wrestlers, it just was bad. It was just a way to get Jim Ross to eat the pin, basically. Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were really good on commentary, and in the main event, they actually acted like this would be their final night commentating. So they did a damn good job in the main event. They did a damn good job all night, I will say that. And I think that's why people were like, no, we want Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler back, because these guys on commentary right now fucking suck. And people who watch Sunday Night Heat also watch Raw and were just like, yeah, no, these guys suck, unfortunately. It's bad. So with that being said, that is Unforgiven 2003 out of sight, and I hope you had a wonderful time. Next week, I don't know. I have the Christmas episode already pre-recorded, so I am going to be taking a little bit of a break. I do also have part 4 of Fallout 4 coming up as well. That will be releasing on Monday the 18th of December, so when this episode drops, that episode Fallout 4 Part 4 will be up on Monday, and as a Christmas bonus and a Christmas special for you guys, on Christmas Day Part 5 of Far Harbor's DLC in Fallout 4 will be taking place instead of the Christmas episode. I do have the Christmas episode pre-recorded, so really that is it for the Twitch stuff for this year. However, on Wednesday the 4th of January, we will be back with the Twitch videos and stuff like that. We will be starting part 6 will be up on the channel on the following Monday. So I'm looking to release the Twitch VODs on a Monday, so then there's at least some content coming out during the week. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you next week for the penultimate, one of the penultimate episodes of the CWS for this year. So with that being said, TTFN, ta-ta, for now.